Good morning. Today is the 13th of August and this is part 4 of a slightly shambolic shuffle around the 2023 Cranleigh Lions Classic Car Show here at Cranleigh in Surrey. I do apologise in advance for the wind noise. If I fall over, if I get things wrong, I'm afraid that's just the way that it goes on this channel. So we've been going for some time now, but we've got a lot more to go. This is a very big show, and we found rather a tasty treat here to begin this part. A Lancia Delta HF Integrale. I don't know if this is an Evo 2 model, it might be. So about 1993, something like that. Honda S2000, these came out I think in 99. This one, don't know exactly what year this is. I think it's a facelifted one actually, so it's a little bit newer than most of the stuff that's actually here. I think the rules stated that it was before 2004, but never mind, I like it anyway. Dune buggy here with some enormous wheels, Mercedes-Benz wheels I think they are. Obviously based on a Beetle, don't know what kit that is, who knows. Early sort of 90s Cooper here, 90 to 91 plate, with the, I think they're called the pastel seats in these, from memory. Same year as my Volvo 460, which is interesting. 1971-72 MG Midget. I wonder if they had an all-synchromesh gearbox by then, because the 68 Midget that I drove in 2021 had no synchromesh on first, which was sort of annoying really. MGA, relatively early one, because this is MGA on the little grills up here. 57 says for tax disc, so about then. I think they came out in 1955 from memory. So we'll just continue down to that end, because there's been some stuff that's appeared there since we last went down the road. Ah yes, Fears, we saw these yesterday. Plymouth Barracudas. This is a 1970, this one I think. And the one next to it I think is about the same year as well, but the registration is a little bit earlier than the car. The Barracudas, you don't really see these, do you, at shows in this country at all. I remember the interior of this one from yesterday at Shambolic. It's cream leather. And April 1970 on the plate as well, so that helps. This is a very early MG, this one. This is from the 20s, I think. Someone's put later indicators on the back. It says expires 1930, so imagine, yeah, this is 2930. I don't know what model that is, 88, and it's 1880. I think this is a 997 Porsche 911 from memory. Still got the kind of door handles that remind me of the 996. But they are a little bit sort of later. This one's a Carrera 4S, 2007 to 8 registration. I don't know why particularly that's in here though, because I thought the rules were from before 2004, but never mind. Porsche 9146, I can't remember if they ever sold these over here actually. 1971-72 registration on a K, all left-hand drive. I don't think they ever made any right-hand drive ones of these. So that's interesting to see, isn't it? Ooh, a Mini 35. This would be then from 1994. It's a Mark 6 Mini. Look at that crazy 90s interior fabric. Forget the 90s, they love that sort of stuff for some reason. Wooden picket plates as well, which is fascinating. Mark II Golf GTI. 1988 to 1989 registration. So before the big bumpers came in, which was I think late 1990. And a Series 1 Ford Escort RS Turbo with some modifications as well. 1984 to 1985 registration. Series 1 didn't last very long, really. They lasted, I think it was a couple of years before we went to the Series 2 in 1986. Jensen Interceptor convertible. Now these were quite rare. I think they were only made from like 74 to 76. And this is a, yeah, I was right, 74, 76. This is a 74. Interceptor 3. 7.2 Chrysler V8 engine. Absolutely crazy. Also crazy is how rare this Singer Vogue is. These were only made until 1970. They started, I think, about 1966 as Arrows type Singer Vogue. Or Arrow, I should say, not Arrows, Arrow type Singer Vogue. I've never seen one of these before, actually. Goodness gracious me, that is just extraordinary. 1967-68 registration. There were badges of Sunbeam Vogue, I think, for a very short period of time. Because Singer was a mark completely discontinued in 1970. But yeah, one of the very last Singers. Austin Healey Frog Eye Sprite, sort of around 1960, something like that. With a mini light, of course. A Splitty here, 1964. There's been a lot of Splitties here actually today. There's an awful lot of them here. But even more interest to me is this Rover 213S facelift. Quite late for an SD3. The S was one up from the base model. There was just a 213. This is an auto. I have driven a 213S actually. I drove it in 2021. I've seen this car at some shows before actually. What's it? 88, 89. Those wheels are actually off. I don't think they're even off one of these. I think they're off actually an R8 Rover. Could be wrong though. Hadn't these of Andover. Porsche 944, 1988 to 89, also on an F. I wonder if this is a turbo model. No, it's an S2. There's quite a few of these here today. There's a 924 there as well. And then, there we go. Another one of these Mark 1 Escort 2 doors. Absolute sort of myriad of them here today. This one is for sale. As Mr. Bill of a Fuel Power channel says, this could be yours. Call 07851 673 955. Through to Damien. 1600 GT Mexico something. Then we've got a 924. This one could possibly be. No, actually, if it's a standard 924, it'll just be with the 2-litre engine. This one, the Audi 2-litre, 1984-85. This 924S though will have the later engine and it'll be from the 944. So that's 86-87. I've done actually a video on one of these before, and I've also driven an earlier one like that. So you know, we've had a few Porsches on the channel videos. We don't have too many, but we have some. I haven't done an Audax Minx before though. I've seen these at shows, but never driven one of these. Audax Minx. The earlier Audax Minxes actually. This is probably, again, sort of 58, 60, something like that. MGTF. I think that's just the 1250 TF rather than the 1500, which is right at the end. And then another 2-door Ford Escort. This will be, I think, a facelifted one. Oh, the original sales invoices here. From 1974, so quite a late one. They were replaced for next year in 75. Someone traded an Anglia estate to this as well. One that's in this sort of original condition, a 1300L, but it's not been made into a Mexico replica, is quite amazing. Don't know what this Renault Modus is doing here, viewers. Yeah, it's a facelifted one, so it's definitely later than 2004, isn't it? And we've had the bay window Volkswagen pickup, an early one actually, on a J, so 1970-71. Early Morris Minor here. This I think is the Series MM. Sort of 53 taxi, so I think this is a late MM. Could be a very early Series 2 because the grille didn't actually change until a bit later. But yes, answer in the comment section below whether this is an MM or a very early Series 2. Very confusing sort of rear light. Someone added some indicators for safety as well, which I would agree with is a good idea. Beetle convertible here, 68-69 registration. Probably imported through the United States of America, I would have thought. Again, Porsche wheels. Fiesta Mark II van with mini light wheels, or mini light style wheels I should say. 1986-87. I have driven a Mark II Fiesta in this colour, but it was a 1.1 auto, which is quite rare, the CTX gearbox. Now this, viewers, is very much up my street. Volvo's 960 with a biscuit leather interior. No wood, because Volvo didn't really go in for wood at this time. My 460's not got wood. Cruise control and all sorts of delightful things. Yes, a 960 estate 1991-1992 plate. Very, very nice, viewers. Where can I buy one? Another one of these Morris vans. This one is another one of the late ones. They weren't actually ever called minor, they were just called a Morris, I think, 800 weight van. But people call Morris minor vans these days for obvious reasons. Late one, 70-71 registration, so probably a post office van, I imagine, actually. E36 BMW 3 Series. I'm surprised we haven't seen one of these, but maybe there's a lot more of these in the club section, which is to come. 1996-1997 registration. It says it's M on the side, but I don't know if that means an M3 or just an M Sport model. Chevy Corvette 1978, which is a Corvette Stingray C3. Look at that exhaust, viewers. You don't want to get anywhere near that, do you? Get your legs burned off. Oh, it's for sale, £13,000. Call 07775 700 145. Excellent, viewers. And then 2004 Mazda MX-5 Roadster. It says Miata on it, but it's right-hand drive, so it can't be a Miata. Quite late actually for one of these. They were replaced the very next year, in 2005. Mystery Machine Land Rover Series 2A, 1968-69, and there is Scooby-Doo. Hello, Scooby. He's not bothered I'm here, is he, at all? He's sitting on his bright green seat. So yes, probably a 69, because the headlamps are in the wings, and that was something that happened on the UK market when 69 other markets got headlamps in the wings earlier. Austin A35 van, I think this one is. Again, some more mini light style wheels. And then a big Dodge Ram. This might be the one we saw at Cranleigh yesterday, actually. Don't know. Then another Morris 1000, but with a 1098cc engine, 1964. Before the facelift, well, no, not facelift, the interior change of the steering wheel in October. I think this is Trafalgar Blue, this colour, which is the same colour as the one that I filmed on the channel last year. This is a 4-door, this is a 2-door when I drove. Volkswagen, well, it'd be a Tracker if it was right-hand drive, but it's not a Tracker, it's a thing. Type 181. And really, there's not much to it. It's a metal floor and everything, Beetle bits and things like that. But yes, it was officially marketed as the Volkswagen thing in America. This one is dressed up to look a bit like a Kubelwagen. So 1978-79. Right, some confusion over there, viewers, but we got to the end of it there. It is just called a 181 because it's a German one, not an American one. Right, 1986, 1987 would be, but that plate's a much earlier on to 66 plate on a car from the mid-80s with a mobile phone in it. So who knows? Some point in the 80s, Porsche 944. Rover P3? 12? I get confused about these things, viewers. P2s and P3s had a very sort of short post-war sort of production life, and the P4s came out in 49. Here we go, Pontiac GTO. This one is from Denver, Colorado. Interesting. Is there a date on this? No. That's really annoying. Why is there not a date on that? Well, let's look at the plate though, that will tell us, won't it? 68, I should think, model year. 68 plate. Cadillac, is that Fleetwood Brougham or something? Take a look. No, it is a Brougham. It's a Cadillac Brougham d'Elegance, apparently, 89 registration. I've got a friend here as well. Don't fall over. Right, what have we got here? Some kind of late 40s, early 50s pickup. Chevy. And another one here. It's probably a 3100 as well. What's this? Of course, these are quite heavily modified. They are not as they came out of the factory, but then again, you know, you all know that, don't you, really, by now? Given the number of these we've seen today, absolutely tons of them we've seen. I thought you weren't supposed to leave before 1:30. Well, never mind, we better keep going, viewers. 1970-71 Chevy C10 or Custom 10 pickup. I'm really out my depth with stuff like this, viewers. I shouldn't even film them at all, really, but here we are. We have to film everything. Unless it's got a forbidden fuel engine in it, viewers, because the Mayor of London and all his friends around the country say that we're not allowed to talk about those anymore. Thank you, Ultra Low Emission and Clean Air Zones. Yeah, another one of the 3100s. Oh, a Volvo PV544, 1965. I think 1965 was the very last year for the PV Volvos. So this is a very late one indeed. The Amazon came in 1956, so extraordinarily long overlap in production. But Volvo used to do that all the time. In 1991, you could buy a 340, 440, 460, 740, 240, 940 and 960. Buy all of those. It's crazy. Anyway, I talk about long production runs. Mini. This is not a 60s Mini Cooper, by the way. This is a much later car with sort of bits put on it to make it look older, such as the rear lights. They're off a sort of Mark II to, I think, Mark 4 Mini. 1995, 1996 plates. It's a much a Mark 6 Mini, that one, but made to look a bit older, which is fine. There's no problem. A lot of Minis are modified. Have a look at this Mustang. This is kind of like the sort of Diamonds Are Forever type Mustang, this one. From the 71. I think it was 71 in the film. With, ooh, that's an interesting shifter. An enormous sort of air scoop on the top. And then we have the Ford 32 Coupe with V8 engine type thing. And that actually there is a Chevy 3600 from Janish Farm, Lake City, South Dakota. So many American cars here today, viewers. It should be called like almost like the Cranleigh Lions Classic and American Car Show, really. which means I'm more at my depth because I don't know anything about American cars, do I? As you've no doubt found out with my spectacular ignorance as we've been going along. Right, so here we go. Step side Chevy Silverado. Did we see this at some other point in the park? I don't know. I don't think I've seen this one before. 73, 74, 1965 Chevy 10. With, is that the fuel tank there? Goodness me. Obviously you need a second one if you're driving around because, well, you use all the fuel. Beetle, 1970-71. Volkswagen Dream Machine. It's not particularly my dream machine, but it's definitely someone's dream machine, isn't it? They've put earlier lights on that one. Now this is more like a dream machine for me. 2000 Jaguar XK8 convertible. Almost got a beige leather interior, but now I'd say it's more sort of olive. We have got wood. We do like a nice beige leather interior with wood viewers. And we're getting close to it actually with the next car. A Vanden Plas Princess 3 litre. I think we might have seen this yesterday actually in Cranleigh. This one's got a big column shift in it. So yeah, but 1960, something like that. Next to it is an Austin A55 Cambridge, but I think we have a different engine in there. Judging by about 3000 badge and the extra air intakes on the bonnet itself, this A55 Cambridge has had a 3 litre engine put in it, and it has a beige leather interior, so all is right with the world. Yeah, A90, oh sorry, it's A90, sorry, I do apologise. Yes, of course, A55 and A90 share the same bodywork. Another frog eye sprite. Someone's actually left the front of this one so you can see what it looks like. The later MG Midget actually was just a rebodied sprite, really. And the Sprite Mark II was the same as a Model Midget, for example. So yeah, engine under there. Then another one of these Mark 1 Escort 2 doors. There's loads and loads of them here today. RS 1600. This colour's nice, isn't it? I like this colour. Oh, very, very early Mark 3 Mini. This one's a Clubman. Unlike most of these sort of very old 60s Minis we've seen, more conventional style door handles, no sliding windows and no external hinges. And of course a Clubman has the nice front end styled by Roy Haynes, I think, who used to work for Ford before. Oh wow, this is right on the kind of edge. This Mazda, I think it's a Mazda 5? Goodness me, what on earth is this doing here? Yeah, but it's bizarre, it's a 2003, so there we go. What is a classic? Apparently one of these, it's eligible, so there you go. Oh, an Audi GT. Oh, there we go, viewers. We saw one of these Fast Food Exceptional actually a couple of weekends ago. It's not a Quattro, this one. It's quite an early one. There's an 8081 registration. We've got a 5-speed gearbox in it. Oh, it's for sale. It's a GT5S. Call 07916 318 804. Still got left-hand drive wipers, of course. Jaguar E-Type. This is a series 1.5, I think, with the glass of the headlights deleted. Be about 1967, 68, something like that. Yeah, 4.2. This is a 2+2. Yes, it is. You can tell what the door's really long. I have driven a 66 E-Type 2+2 on the channel. I drove it in 2020 for the 1,000 subscriber special, which seems like a very long time ago now. A very long time ago indeed. Another frog ice right here, the third one we've seen actually. This one looks like it's ready for some competition. Goodness me, someone's put some angry kind of eyebrows on there. Let's move away before it eats me. Oh wow. My gosh, a Vanden Plas estate? I didn't realise you could get one of these. I think somebody's done this as a conversion. can kind of see along these lines where sort of someone's kind of had to fill bits of it. I have never seen one of them before. Yeah, I think that's been sort of plonked on kind of later. Extraordinary though. Wow, it's a Mark II, so getting around sort of 1960, something like that. Someone's worked very, very hard to make that. 1982 to 1983 Mini by Garfield. Hello to Garfield the Mini. Sorry, Garfield the Mini on Instagram. No twin fuel tanks on that one. So those from about 1977 were the lights that the cars should actually have. If you see ones later in 77 that have the lights without reversing lights, then they've been changed. Right, we'll skip that one, viewers, because we can't talk about diesels on this channel. What do we have here? It looks like a 924. Yes, it is. It's just that's a modification to it. It's probably a little bit faster than it was originally. Is this a turbo or something? The wheels I think are off a turbo. What's that? 1982 to 83 registration. And then E30 BMW 325i. It's been to Retro Rides Weekender, like I have various times in my life. Another one of these Mark II consoles. How many Mark II consoles are there going to be at this show? There's just an absolute ton of them. But we'll go down the middle of both of them here. Let's go down the middle of both of them. Why don't we? Yeah, that's a console as well. Where are all the Zephyrs and Zodiacs today? We've just got consoles. What a mystery. Anyway, let's have a look at this Jaguar. Ooh, hello. This is a 240 because of the bumper, which is a sort of a later version of the Mark II that was sort of cheapened out later on in production. Yeah, it's a 240. So it will be sort of 67, 68. Oh, and this is what the contrast. This is the most luxurious version of this design. This is the Daimler V8 250. And not only that, it has a beige leather interior with wood and piping. Excellent, viewers, that's what we like to see. So these continue 69, this one's 67, 68 registration. And then we've come to some more Mark II Cortinas. I think we might have even seen this one yesterday actually in Camberley. Left-hand drive 2-door 600E. This is a 1969 one called Graham on 07958399690. That's extraordinary, isn't it? I've never seen a left-hand drive Mark II Cortina. I've never seen a 2-door 600E, but here is one. This is more conventional though, 1969 to 70 Ford Cortina 600E on an H. Very desirable cars back in the day, and probably still quite desirable now, to be honest. So a Mercury here, 1950 from Kansas City. Mercury 8. Don't think I've ever heard one of these before. Are those real or fake exhaust on the side? That's weird. Look at the position of that fuel filler. That's interesting, isn't it? Ford Anglia from the mid-50s. I think someone's changed the engine though, based on that sticker. Crossflow. A bit more power than the old side valve. And we have something very nice. Series 2 Jaguar XJ. Do we have we have two fuel tank action here? Yes, we do. We've got 2 fuel tank action. And that is a 5.3 V12. Ooh. Don't mind if I do, viewers. Green leather interior in that one. And a Renault 16, a facelifted 16. These were made, I think it's about 1980. They came out in 1965, so a very long production life for these. This one's 77, 78. I think these were maybe still with a sort of longer wheelbase on one side of the from the other. It's TL, so relatively posher one of these. Then Austin A40 Farina. This is the non-countryman model with the sort of wavy grille. So I think that's the earlier one. I think later on the straight grille. I think. Morris 8 Series E with 4 doors. MGA, early MGA with just the sort of normal MGA written on the grills there. Ooh, a Renault 5 GT Turbo with the good old Crayon font engine in it. This will be one of the very last. I think they made until 1990, and this is 1990-1991 registration. Yeah. And hello to R5 GT Turbo _ Brandon on Instagram. Triumph Herald 1360 convertible, 1968 to 1969. I actually drove an almost identical one to these on the channel last year. It wasn't this one. The chap who owned it actually here today. Right, I think that's it for part 4 of the slightly shambolic shuffle around the 2023 Cranleigh Lions Classic Car Show. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this, leave a comment below, and we shall see you again soon for more ever increasingly incorrect information.